Right, let's get more now on Jofra Archer, who's been included in England's provisional T20 squad for the upcoming World Cup. I'm joined live now by Sky Sports' Ian Ward. Ian, very good afternoon to you. How good is it to see Archer selected for England once again?
It's fantastic news. It's fantastic news for the team. It's fantastic news for all the supporters. But more importantly, I say it's fantastic news for Jofra, who's had such a difficult time with injuries to the elbow, to the back. The other day, he was saying that, if this doesn't work, it might be, him done. Not sure he can go through another set of lengthy rehab as he's done. When cricketers and sportsmen and women get injured, you go into a very dark place. It's quite lonely. And Jofra's gone through 3 serious injuries. So he's not quite there yet. We heard from Rob Key a little earlier speaking to James Cole, and he was saying, he's going to play some club cricket in Barbados and they're going to up his workload and they'll need to do that. But at the moment, it's just fantastic news to see him back in the squad, and hopefully that rehab continues. He can get some overs into his belt, stays fit, because he really could provide that X factor for England in the World T20.
Yeah, he absolutely could. Just bearing in mind everything that you've said there, the fact that he's not played consistent cricket for a long time, do you think England fans should be a little bit cautious of their expectations with him?
Perhaps manage expectations just to start with. I think that's a very fair point indeed. I'm not sure Jofra is a bowler that perhaps needs so many overs under his belt. You think of Mark Wood as well. He's got to be managed very cleverly, and they've done that so far with Jofra. He will need some cricket, no doubt about it. But, when he was out bowling with England at various camps and whatever, they said his pace was up. It's effortless pace. I mean, that is what Jofra has in spades, just this absolute unique natural ability to bowl quickly. So I don't think he needs masses of overs under his belt, but he will need some game time. But yeah, we need to be patient with Jofra. It's great to see him back, but he's got a little way to go yet.
OK, let's have a look at England's top order then. You've got Buttler right-handed, Bairstow right-handed, Jacks right-handed, Salt right-handed. Is that a problem in your eyes?
It's probably not ideal. I wouldn't say it's a problem. I mean, this is partly because of Ben Stokes' decision not to go, obviously, a left-handed batter. They've got Ben Duckett in there. And what they do have is 2 floaters, if you like. Moeen Ali and Sam Curran can quite effectively go up the order and bat in any position that Jos Buttler or Matthew Mott wants them to do. And it's also ground specific. You go to the Caribbean, some of the grounds are a little bit smaller. There'll be a bigger boundary one side. And we always talk about matchups, and perhaps we get a little bit too caught up with matchups. So, yeah, there is a lack of, top 4 is not going to have, unless Duckett plays a left-hander in there. But they've got Moeen Ali and Sam Curran that could go up and down the order, and Duckett might get a go as well. It's not ideal, but I don't see it being prohibitive.
So who do you think opens? Rob Key hinted at Buttler and Salt with Bairstow at 4. Would you go with that?
Well, I reckon there'll be about 6 players that will want to open. That's where you want to bat in T20 cricket. But for my money, it's definitely Jos Buttler, and it will be Phil Salt. And then they'll mix and match however further down, 3, 4 or 5. I don't really care. Everyone will want to open, but for me, it's Buttler and Salt. Buttler has to open. That's where Salt's been doing exceptionally well in the IPL. And we saw Will Jacks the other day smoke that 100 batting, not in the top 2. So I think it'll be Salt and Buttler. I think the interesting one in many ways is who's going to keep, actually, because they've got 3 keepers in the squad. Obviously, Buttler, you got Salt that can do it, and also Johnny Bairstow. If they decide that Jos Buttler isn't going to keep, and that'll be absolutely up to him. It'll be his decision. If he wants to keep, he should keep. But there's time pressures in T20 cricket now, and you're under the clock from ICC. And if Jos is captain and Mark Wood or Jofra right at the end of their run-up, it's a long way for Jos to jog back and forward to get the tactics right. He'll probably have Moeen Ali at mid-off or mid-on to help him in that communication. But it's not ideal that the captain is so far away from the bowler when the pressure is on. So I think it'll be Salt and Buttler to open. If Jos wants to keep, he'll keep, but they do have options there.
You mentioned Johnny Bairstow there. How important do you think that 100 in the IPL was in terms of his selection?
Crucial, absolutely crucial. Not only just for his selection, but just for him personally. He's a long time out in India, hasn't he? We had the World Cup and we've had the Test matches and now the IPL. He's got a young lad now, I'm sure, is travelling around with him. Johnny is an exceptional talent, and he's just had a bit of a lean run of it of late. So that will do his confidence the world of good. And the fit and firing Johnny Bairstow is a real fillip for England, absolutely.
And of course, Jamie Overton's injury opened the door for Chris Jordan. Are you happy to see an experienced head in there?
Well, that's it. You hit the nail on the head, the experienced head. There's some experience, lots of experience in that squad. the lieutenants will be Moeen Ali and now Chris Jordan. I probably wasn't expecting to see him in there. As you mentioned, Jamie Overton, that's another unfortunate timing for another back problem for him. Chris Wokes is probably a little bit unlucky that he doesn't make the trip to the Caribbean. But Chris Jordan offers you so much. I mean, obviously the death bowling he's done for years and years. He's probably the best catcher I've ever seen. It's such a safe pair of hands. And as we saw, certainly in the latter stage of the Big Bash, his batting has now really blossomed, a real power hitter now. So he brings an all-round package and a wealth of experience. And, of course, he's going home. He's going back to Barbados.